Happening today in Springfield, city leaders, including Mayor Dominic Sarno, will attend a naturalization ceremony.
Western Mass News reporter Matt Price is live in downtown Springfield to tell us what the event is all about. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning again, David and Amanda. Yes, this is a ceremony that will be held by the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, who will welcome 200 new citizens to commemorate the upcoming Citizenship Day and Constitution Week. Later today, candidates from over 70 countries, including Afghanistan, Bulgaria, Cuba, Ecuador, Greece, Mexico, Russia, Ukraine, and Venezuela will take the oath of becoming Americans at this special ceremony. This is also one of multiple ceremonies happening across the United States. Among those giving out congratulatory remarks will be Mayor Dominic Sarno, who released a statement saying, quote, "As a son of Italian immigrants, I am happy to be with each of these individuals as they officially become citizens of the United States of America. Our country is a melting pot, and the traditions brought from our home countries are an important piece of the fabric of our nation." Now, this ceremony will take place at the building right behind me, the Springfield Armory National Historic Site, as the city will recognize 200 more people from across the globe as American citizens. So a very special day for these folks, the city of Springfield, and of course, the United States of America. Reporting live in Springfield, Matt Price, Western Mass News.